The UPSC CSE arena is an ever-evolving space where staying up to date becomes as crucial as maintaining a thorough preparation. With strategic planning and holistic coverage for exam syllabus, Vision IS Delhi presents GS Foundation course. Avail analysis and integration of current affairs with GS syllabus. All India test series with an innovative assessment system, inculcating post-test analysis, discussion, all India ranking, and more. Explore the holistic learning modules intrinsically designed for the ideal aspirant.
So let's go to the next topic then, Nobel Prize in Physics. This is the second Nobel Prize which is given. Few things first. This Nobel Prize, lot of memes have occurred because of Nobel Prize in Physics. Because the first thing is that this is not given in physics. That इस साल का जो Nobel Prize in Physics वो physics के लिए दिया ही नहीं है. And there is a crisis in physics happening right now. That physics में जो 20th सेंचुरी था फिजिक्स का वो गोल्डन पीरियड था, पर्टिकुलरली जो शुरू का 50-60 साल था 20th सेंचुरी का, वो गोल्डन पीरियड था. सम ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट नेम्स यू रीड दे लिव्ड इन दिस टाइम पीरियड, इंक्लूडिंग आइंस्टाइन और फर्मी और डिराक और बोर, some of the Schrödinger, some of the great names, many great names, Oppenheimer, all of them lived together in this time period of early 20th century. In this century, one of the biggest challenge has been that whatever knowledge they built upon, now people when they are advancing this knowledge, many great grand theories are there. The problem is that we do not have any way to confirm if those theories are accurate or not. Lot of these theories are highly mathematical, very abstract. Things like string theory or supersymmetry, there are many theories, like these are beautiful mathematical theories. But then वहीं साइंस और बाकी के तरीके में नॉलेज गेन करने में यही है that science relies upon experiments. So we need to confirm if those theories are correct or not. Right, so there is one of my favorite science educator which I follow on YouTube is a scientist from Germany. Her name is Sabine. And Sabine has a very good book called Lost in Maths, where she criticizes physicists that they have lost the way. Or I will not say they have lost the way, but she criticizes the fact that too many physicists are simply involved in doing beautiful mathematics without thinking about that can we actually confirm those things. And that is what scientific method is all about. So this year Nobel Prize in Physics is a testament to this crisis in physics, that it was not given to physicists. And I came across a tweet by someone from India, and I thought that I should share this tweet with you. In case you are still confused, today's Nobel in Physics is actually for mathematics and was awarded to a molecular biologist and a cognitive psychologist. Hope that's all clear now. So this is what this year Nobel Prize in Physics was all about. But this was such a significant discovery these two people made. So Nobel Prize was given to John Hopfield, Geoffrey Hinton. And these two people actually laid the foundation of what we now call artificial neural network, which you are using in one form, such as, let's say, ChatGPT. So this entire concept of deep learning, artificial neural network, which by the way is one of the foundation in artificial intelligence, what we call AI right now. This people led the foundation in 1980s and early 1990s, and because of that, Nobel Committee recognized their role. And one of the reason I would say that why this was given in physics, some of the ideas of physics were applied in what they did first. Some of the idea, not all of the idea. And second, it goes without saying that the artificial neural networks have come a long way, and now artificial neural networks are allowing us to do development and research and development in so many domains, including the domain of physics. So maybe because of that, this Nobel Prize in Physics was given. Okay, so what did they do first of all? Laid the foundation for machine learning with artificial neural network. That is, in one line, if I have to describe this Nobel Prize, then it is this. But what is an artificial neural network? What do I mean by this word artificial neural network? यहाँ पे आप पूसा रोड पे आगे जाना, यहाँ पे एक नया स्टोर खुला है, स्पोर्ट्स वाला जो कंपनी है, क्या नाम है इसका? डेकाथलॉन. गो टू डेकाथलॉन. डेकाथलॉन पे जब आप कुछ खरीदोगे, पेमेंट करने जाओगे, तो अब वो क्या करते हैं, वो सिंपली एक बास्केट होगा, उसमें रखेंगे और वो स्कैन कर लेगा दैट आपने क्या लिया है, राइट. गूगल जो है, आपके जो भी ईमेल्स आते हैं, गूगल एक अलग से फोल्डर बना देता है अननेसेसरी ईमेल्स का, सोशल, प्रमोशन, ऑल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स. प्राइमरी ईमेल जो है सही है, और हार्डली ऐसा होगा कि आप मतलब आपको लगेगा कि नहीं गूगल ने कुछ गलती कर दी है. यू गो टू दोज ईमेल्स labeled as promotion and you'll find that these are unnecessary mails, these are really only promotions. You'll go to that folder called social, you'll find that this is unnecessary. Primary email, that is most of the emails in primary email is good, right. So I'm talking about only very simple applications of artificial neural network. Of course, we are using large language models such as ChatGPT, which is much more advanced, but all of that essentially was because of the work done by these two gentlemen, and this work of course has led to this grand large language models or Google AlphaFold project. By the way, all these three Nobel Prizes, there is a very nice connection among these Nobel Prizes, that the first was given for microRNA, which helps in gene regulation. The second was given for artificial neural network. And this artificial neural network has allowed us to solve protein folding problem, and for which Nobel Prize in Chemistry was given. So all of these three Nobel Prizes this year were connected to each other in some way, right? And this rarely happens. These are three different things. ऐसा rarely होगा कि तीनों चीज में कुछ connection है. But in this year, in all these three Nobel Prizes, there was this connection. So anyways, what is artificial neural network? What did they do? I will try to explain this with simplest examples possible. What did Hoffield do? Hoffield work is called Hoffield network. He allowed his work essentially involved to remember and fix incomplete and distorted data. जैसे एक simple सा example ले लो, that कोई बहुत blurred, एक simple सा सबसे इसका जो simplest example है कि आप Google Drive पे आपने मान लो बहुत सारे images आपने स्टोर करके रखा है, एंड आप क्या कर सकते हो, फेस से आप पूरे इमेजेस को अरेंज कर सकते हो, है ना एक ऑप्शन, दैट जो भी सेम इमेज में जो भी लोग हैं उन सबका इमेज आपको एक जगह मिल जाएगा. यू आर एबल टू डू दैट इवन दो सम ऑफ द पिक्चर्स आर ब्लर्ड. सो वी कैन डू दैट. जैसे मान लो मैं आपको आपका कोई दोस्त है, उसका पिक्चर आप देखोगे, भले वो ब्लर्ड पिक्चर है, यू विल से दैट हाँ ये मेरा दोस्त है. दिस इज दिस इनकम्प्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन दैट सम पिक्सल्स आर मिसिंग इन दिस पिक्चर, सम पिक्सल्स आर मिसिंग. But even though you're able to understand, and he was the one who made the first program, computer program, who was able to do that. So even if some incomplete data is there, computer will be able to understand what that incomplete data is, and it will be able to recognize whatever it wants to. So it will be able to recognize that correctly, even though the data is not complete. And then Geoffrey Hinton took this idea further, and he created a machine called Boltzmann machine. Boltzmann was a great physicist known for statistical physics. So he created a machine called Boltzmann machine, and Boltzmann machine का purpose ये है that it allowed a machine to understand patterns. जैसे हमारा brain pattern ढूंढता है, एक छोटे बच्चे को भी 4-5 साल के भी बच्चे को आप बहुत सारे पिक्चर्स दिखाओ, आप बहुत सारी इमेजेस दिखाओ कि एप्पल है, ऑरेंज है, बनाना है, एंड देन आफ्टर सम टाइम आप अपने हाथ से बहुत ही घटिया ड्राइंग करके एक बनाना बना के दिखाओ, द चाइल्ड विल अंडरस्टैंड कि ये बनाना है, even though it is looking at this picture for the first time, but will know that this is a banana. So finding pattern here, that there are certain similarities in things, and based on those similarities, we are essentially able to come to a conclusion that what is this particular image. This is what this work was. That he was able to make a computer program, and that computer program now could understand patterns, and based on that patterns, it could give you accurate answer. And that led to foundation of what we call artificial neural networks. So why we are calling it artificial neural network, first of all? Because it is inspired from our own neural network. हमारा जो neural network है, our neural network essentially is due to neuron cells, these very specialized cells with their own microRNA molecules, what we discussed earlier. That neuron cells, when they receive some data, so for example, when something happens in your body, some hot tea falls on your body, neuron starts firing and they start sending information to the next neuron. But then one neuron, which neuron this information will be sent to? So neurons have this very specific structure, this spike-like structure, we call them dendrites. They receive data from the previous neuron, and then you have this information is processed, and then output it's sent to the next neuron. But what is this data all about? That is processed by this neuron. And if, let's say, for example, along a particular neural pathway, this data does not need to be sent, तो यहाँ पे जो neural connection होगा बहुत weak होगा. But along some other pathway, if it is needs to be sent, वहाँ पे neural connection जो होगा strong होगा. Our body does that naturally. We have evolved in a way, and this is true for, again, many living organisms which have well-established neural network inside their body. So scientists used this. So one neuron passes information to the next neuron in form of electrical or chemical signal. But scientists used this concept and they created a statistical computer program where you have many neural networks, many nodes. So rather than using the word neuron, now I can use the word node, that there are many nodes. I have my input layer. This input layer receives lot of input, some data is given to them. It assigns the weight to these inputs. कि अलग अलग inputs का weight क्या है. I will explain that with help of a concrete example, and that will become much more clearer. That अलग weight क्या है. Then there are these hidden layers. For example, in this particular picture, there are 3 hidden layers. At the first hidden layer, this input is processed based on some weight which is assigned. Initially, it will be assigned. At second layer, the same thing will happen. Some other input, some other weight. At third layer, it will happen. And finally, some output will be given by this neural network. Initially, we have to assign that एक input का कितना weight होगा. But our goal here is that as we train this machine with more and more data, this machine understand that what should be the weight of a specific input. So it is based on lot of training data. Now let me use a concrete example for that. First, let me define all of these words. What is artificial neural network? You can think of artificial neural network as a computer system designed to simulate how the brain processes information. ये simple सा starting point है. It is made of layers of interconnected nodes. Nodes का मतलब ऐसे समझ लो कि हमारे कंप्यूटर प्रोग्राम में एक particular juncture है that is processing some information. Interconnected nodes similar to the way neurons in brains are connected. Neural network comprises of 3 layers. There is this input layer where the information is being provided. Hidden layers, this is where the actual thinking happens, that processing happens. And then the output layer, this provides the final result or some prediction. Application involves pattern recognition, decision making, learning from data, etc., etc. So now let's use this for, let's say, some specific example. Just say, let's take the example of that spam mail. Google ने Gmail बनाया है, and Google has to also design Gmail in a way that as a user, if you are receiving spam mail, then it should go to that spam folder. It should go to that promotions folder, social folder. Let's say, चलो एक काम करते हैं, इस एक्सरसाइज को हम कर लेते हैं यहीं पे. आप ऐसे देखो कि अगर कोई मेल स्पैम होगा तो उसमें क्या क्या कुछ कीवर्ड्स क्या होंगे, लाइक जो हमारे काम का नहीं है. थिंक ऑफ सम स्पैम मेल्स. सब्सक्राइब कर लो, प्राइज होगा कुछ कि कुछ प्राइज है, बहुत सारे एक्सक्लेमेशन मार्क्स होंगे, बड़े सारे ब्राइट से पिक्चर्स भी हो सकते हैं मेल में, ये सारी चीज़ें होंगी. तो ऐसे हम 2-3 मान लेते हैं. 2-3 हम मान लो कि गूगल ने कुछ 2-3 क्राइटेरिया डिसाइड कर रखा है कि कोई मेल स्पैम मेल है या नहीं है. जैसे मान लो एक क्राइटेरिया ये है, there is some keyword such as win, bonanza, things like that. That is my first input. Let's say my second input is that if this mail is from some unknown versus known. So if it is a known person mail, then there is a very good chance that it is not a spam. If it is unknown mail, then there can be a chance. So let's say that that is my second input. And let's say that it is, the second criteria is that it is a known person mail. And the third criteria, let's say it is that it has a lot of exclamation marks, things like that. I'm making things up. And then I am assigning some weight to all of these criteria. That if it is win, bonanza, things like that, that this, let's say कि ये एक positive indication है spam होने का, तो मैं इसको एक value दे रहा हूँ कि इसका value 1 है. अगर मान लो कि exclamation mark है, तो exclamation mark मैं भी लिख सकता हूँ किसी को मेल में. तो उस वो हो सकता है कि न्यूट्रल हो, तो अगर न्यूट्रल हो तो आई विल गिव इट 0. या मान लो अगर मुझे लगता है कि फिर भी स्पैम मेल में होने का चांस ज्यादा है, देन आई विल असाइन लेट्स से वैल्यू ऑफ 0.5. बट अगर कोई मान लो कोई नॉन इंसान ने मेल भेज रखा है, देन आई विल असाइन दिस अ नेगेटिव वैल्यू कि ये स्पैम होने का चांस नहीं है. सो आई एम असाइनिंग अ वैल्यू ऑफ -1. तो ये पहले तो मैंने एक न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू असाइन किया. सो दिस इज अ प्रॉपर, एंड हेंस दैट ट्वीट that it was given for mathematics. This is a proper mathematical process. अब इन अलग अलग इनपुट्स का मैं कितना वेट दूं. जैसे मान लो अगर ये बोनांजा, अगर मुझे मेरा मेन पर्पस ये है दैट इफ इट इज अ स्पैम और नॉट, देन ये जो वर्ड विन है, बोनांजा है, इसको मैं वेट हाई मुझे देना पड़ेगा. जो नोन नेम है तो उसको वेट मैं थोड़ा, उसको भी मैं हाई दूंगा. जो एक्सक्लेमेशन मार्क वाला है उसको मैं ज़्यादा वेट नहीं दूंगा, बिकॉज एक्सक्लेमेशन अगेन कैन बी ड्यू टू नोन और अननोन ईमेल्स ऑल्सो. And based on that, I will do some calculation. मेरा कुछ numerical value आएगा. The next set of information will use some other criteria. The next layer will use some other criteria based on different weights. And finally, depending upon, let's say in this my entire calculation, if this output is positive, then I will say that it is a spam mail. If this output is some negative number, I will say that this is not a spam mail. And that is how we are going to sort this mail automatically. So this, you can think of this as a computer program where a lot of data is being processed at successive nodes based on the weight which is first we have to assign, but the goal here is that it should learn. ये जो पूरा computer program है, it should learn कि एक पहले तो inputs का क्या weight होना चाहिए, अलग अलग processing में क्या weight होना चाहिए, ये सारी चीज़ें, ये सिस्टम को हमको ट्रेन करना है, सिखाना है, सो दैट व्हेन सम न्यू इंफॉर्मेशन कम्स, देन इट इज़ एबल टू यूज दैट ट्रेनिंग डेटा एंड इट इज़ एबल टू कम टू अ कंक्लूजन फॉर द पर्पस इट हैज़ बीन डिजाइंड फॉर. सो यू शो अ पिक्चर. आपने मान लो एक, जैसे मैंने बच्चे का एग्जाम्पल लिया कि एक बच्चे को आपने बहुत सारा ट्रेनिंग डेटा दिया, आपने बचपन में दिखाए कि देखो एप्पल है, बनाना है, ऑरेंज है, अलग अलग फ्रूट्स आपने दिखाए, फिर आपने वेजिटेबल्स दिखाया, फिर आपने एनिमल दिखाया. लेट्स से यू आर क्रिएटिंग आर्टिफिशियल न्यूरल नेटवर्क विद द सेम पर्पस दैट यू शो इट पिक्चर ऑफ एप्पल, यू ट्रेन इट ऑन पिक्चर ऑफ एप्पल. अब ये क्या करेगा, ये अलग अलग क्राइटेरिया डिसाइड कर रहा है. एक क्राइटेरिया है कि इसका शेप क्या है फ्रूट का, इसका कलर क्या है, राइट. ऐसे कुछ कुछ क्राइटेरियाज, उनका वेट क्या होना चाहिए. अब ये टमाटर तो नहीं हो जाएगा, अगर रेड है, सर्कल है, तो टमाटर तो नहीं हो जाए, तो फिर टमाटर और एप्पल में हम कैसे डिस्टिंग्विश करें. सो यू गिव दिस लॉट ऑफ डेटा पॉइंट एंड आप इनिशियल वेट आप डिसाइड करोगे, बट अगर ये गलती कर रहा है डिसीजन में, तो फिर ये वेट एडजस्ट करते रहना पड़ेगा. ये वेट तब तक एडजस्ट करेगा जब तक ये सही डिसीजन ना आ जाए. यू कीप डूइंग दैट, यू कीप ट्रेनिंग दिस ऑन लॉट ऑफ डेटा, बट देन व्हेन यू शो a random picture of some fruit, it is able to identify that this is an apple or this is an orange. So this is what this entire Nobel Prize is. And that is why that tweet, that it was given for mathematics, that machine learning is nothing but a statistical probabilistic distribution where you assign weight to multiple inputs, you process that at multiple layers, and then based on that processing, you come to some particular conclusion.
Does the vast syllabus of general studies for the UPSC prelims overwhelm you to initiate your preparation for the civil services examination? Is your apprehension and self-doubt coming in the way of your success in joining the civil services? Comprehend your preparation for UPSC Prelims 2025 with the fast-track course targeting general studies with innovative curriculum, revision and mentorship. Starting from 19th November at 1 p.m., the course offers coverage of UPSC GS Prelims subjects, dedicated mentorship support and guidance for performance maximization, access to PT 365 classes for current affairs preparation, sectional mini tests for regular assessment and performance, personalized student portal to access study material, access to live and online classes. Enroll today and make prelims your stepping stone to proceed to the UPSC mains.
And I came across another tweet. This is by one of the MIT handles, MIT का एक handle है, that how do you explain neural network to small children? I'm assuming that you are small children. So how do you explain neural network to small children? Imagine that there is some coach who has won some league of small children. छोटे बच्चों का कोई लीग हुआ, जीत गए छोटे बच्चे. Coach has promised them कि चलो हम पार्टी करते हैं. अब अलग अलग बच्चों का अलग अलग डिमांड है. कोई चिल्ला रहा है कि बर्गर चाहिए, पिज़्ज़ा चाहिए, कुछ और चाहिए. तो एज अ कोच आपको जो सबसे ज़्यादा सुनाई देगा वो आप सुनोगे कि आपने जैसे मैक्सिमम साउंड जिसका आया पिज़्ज़ा का आया, आपने बोला कि चलो पिज़्ज़ा खाने चलते हैं, राइट. फिर उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि पिज़्ज़ा खा के कुछ लोगों का पेट खराब हो गया, तो अगली बार बच्चे पिज़्ज़ा नहीं चिल्लाएंगे, पिज़्ज़ा का वेट अब कम हो जाएगा, वो कुछ और चिल्लाएंगे. सो यू कैन थिंक ऑफ न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स लाइक दिस, दैट शाउटिंग डिफरेंट चिल्ड्रेन डिफरेंट प्रेफरेंसेज. जैसे मान लो अब आपने प्रेफरेंसेज बढ़ा दिए. इट्स नॉट अबाउट जस्ट रेस्टोरेंट, इट्स ऑल्सो अबाउट कि आप या तो रेस्टोरेंट चल लो या कहीं और चलो, कहीं घूमने चलते हैं, डिज्नीलैंड घूमने चलते हैं. कुछ बच्चे वो चिल्ला रहे हैं, तो अब उनमें उसका अलग अलग क्या वेट होगा. सो एज अ कोच यू आर नाउ डिसाइडिंग कि कौन सबसे लाउड है, किसका वेट सबसे ज़्यादा है, किससे मैक्सिमम बच्चे खुश हो जाएंगे, एंड देन यू आर कमिंग टू सम सॉर्ट ऑफ डिसीजन. सो न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स आर लाइक दिस. That neural networks, they take input, they process that input by assigning weight to various inputs. Those weights need to be adjusted in the initial जब आप neural network design करोगे. But the goal here is that the neural network should be able to understand the weight as it is trained on more and more data. And after some point of time, it should be able to find pattern autonomously. It should be able to come to a right output independently. That is the purpose of artificial neural network. So all of that started with very simple things like recognizing correct images, finding some pattern, all of the finding missing data. But right now, the advancement is so much, the same statistical distribution, but across such complex data set that it allows us to do a lot of things, including one of the biggest challenge in biology, for which the Nobel Prize in Chemistry was given. That is my next Nobel Prize. But if you have question here, you can ask questions.